I painted my room. As you can see, it looks much different than the last time I did this, which was like maybe a year ago, which you guys have seen me. I am back, and football preseason is right around the corner, and then a month later, 18 weeks straight of football madness. So what I thought I would do, this is inspired by Tim the Tap Man. I have a tier list of all 32 teams and predict how many wins they are going to have for the 2026 NFL season. And then every week thereafter on Wednesday, I will post the NFL in review for the 2026 season. Join me as I predict, and then maybe after the season, I will tell you if my predictions are right. So let's get started. All right, so all 32 teams are here, okay? We are going to start off with the New Orleans Saints. Oh, what can I say about the New Orleans Saints that hasn't already been said? They got Tyler Shuck, Alvin Kamara, I think. And I can't really name another, player on there. I know Spencer Rattler's still there. But is that really, is that really a Super Bowl contending team? Probably not. They got 6-11 last season. So I'm going 6-11. So that's their wins. They got 6 wins last season. So I'm going to predict that the Saints are going to have another 6-9 wins, or maybe even lower than that. They got 6-9 last time, but I don't even know what their schedule is. Let me just take a look at what the New Orleans Saints schedule is, because based on that, it might even be hold on. It might even change everything of how I see this team. Okay, so they got the Lions, the Ravens, Raiders, Falcons, Giants, Vikings, Steelers. It's not terrible. They are facing the AFC North and the NFC North. And they're in the NFC South division. I'm probably going to say, the NFC North is, crazy. But they could beat the Browns. They could probably beat the Giants. Actually, that's kind of neck and neck. I don't know. I'm going 6-9 wins for that one. I'm going 6-9 wins for that one, for the New Orleans Saints. I'm being a little generous today. Here comes my team. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna save my team for last, actually, because I have some choice words about my own team. Next up, we got the Baltimore Ravens. Now, the Baltimore Ravens, I predicted last season that they were going to win the Super Bowl. They didn't even make the playoffs last season, all because of these guys right here, the Pittsburgh Steelers, that managed to sneak into the playoffs and then become a first-round exit. I don't know how they did that. So the Ravens, the Baltimore Ravens, I'm also predicting 6-9 wins for them. They got an 8-9 record last season. They were pretty hit or miss, actually. Like Lamar Jackson, Derrick Henry. They had a pretty tough schedule last season. I know they had lost their first week against the Buffalo Bills, which was a really good game, by the way. I just don't know. I know they have the Saints week 2, because it literally says on here, because I'm on the Saints thing. But let me check the Ravens, who they have week 1. The Ravens schedule on week 1, they have the Colts, and then they face the Saints, then they face the Cowboys, the Titans. Oh, they have a pretty, with the exception of Bills. Yeah, you know what? I think they can, if they manage to stay healthy, I think they can go borderline 10-13, but just to be safe, because I know injuries are a thing, 6-9 wins probably. I'm just going to throw it. Maybe 9 at the very least. 9 is borderline going on 10, so I'll probably go 6-9 wins, but 9 wins probably for them. The Cincinnati Bengals, bro. Now, you know what happened last season, week 3, with Joe Burrow, right? Joe Burrow, he got injured week 3 with a turf toe injury. And then week 10 or 11 or week 13, 10 weeks later, I think, week 13 he comes back I forgot what the record was. I think they also had 6-11. Let me see what the record was last season. I think it was 6-11. Yep, it was indeed 6-11. 6-11. If Joe Burrow manages to stay healthy, I'm predicting 10 to 13 wins for them. Maybe 10 on the very least if Joe Burrow manages to stay healthy. Like, if he stays healthy this season, because you know they got Jamar Chase, right? They got Jamar Chase. They got who else they got? T. Higgins. They got Chase Brown. So I'm predicting 10 to 13 wins for them. That's only if Joe Burrow stays healthy. I don't think anything major is going to happen with the Bengals. At least with Joe Burrow, hopefully. So if Joe Burrow stays healthy, I predict they have a 10 to 13 win. That's all. I predict that they're going to have a healthy season. They might make the playoffs. I hope. I hope, because I love the Bengals. The Denver Broncos, bro. This team was scary last season. Only 3 losses. Only 3 losses from the Broncos. Every other team win, win, win. So I'm predicting 14 to 17 wins for the Denver Broncos. 14 at the very most, probably. Because that team was very scary last season. Like, Bo Nix is on fire, you know. I forgot who else was on that team, but I'm a Bo Nix fan. I am a big Bo Nix fan. He's insane to watch. He's got Cortland Sutton with him. He's got Troy Franklin, J.K. Dobbins, R.J. Harvey, like, and their defense is elite too. So if you couple all of that, they're probably going to make it back to the playoffs, like, and they'll make it far too. They might even make it to the Super Bowl if they keep doing what they're doing, and with their new players as well. I'm predicting 14 to 17 wins for them. Broncos are a scary team, and the Dolphins face them around the later weeks. So I don't know. We're not beating the Broncos, that's for sure. But they are a scary team. I'm afraid to go up against them. By the time, what week do we get them? Week 13. Week 13 is going to be a scary week because it's at home at Mile High. So the New York Giants, Jackson Dart, Cam Scatterboo, they got only 4 to 13 wins last season. It's the polar opposite of the Denver Broncos, you know, like, they were the first team to be eliminated from the playoffs. Let me see their schedule. I have to see their schedule, what their schedule was like, because honestly, this is all a factor. So they got the Cowboys first, Rams, Titans, Cardinals, Saints, Texans. They got a couple of easy wins. They got Jaguars. That might be a loss for them. I kind of want to go 6 to 9 wins, but that's if everybody stays healthy. If everybody manages to stay healthy, I'm probably going to go 6 to 9 wins for them. But Cam Scatterboo just got injured. Malik Neighbors got injured last season, so that's why they were at the spot that they were at. But if everybody manages to stay healthy, 6 to 9 wins for them. The Minnesota Vikings, bro. The Vikings have the Packers one season, then the Bears. That's 2 losses for them. They might beat Tampa Bay. They're definitely beating us week 4. They're definitely beating the Saints. I don't know if they're going to beat the Colts. They might lose to the Lions. They are definitely losing to the Bills. The Falcons they're beating. The Panthers they're beating. There's a lot of 6 to 9 wins for them. So we got Saints, Ravens, Giants, Vikings. Oh, they got 9 to 8. So yeah, I'm predicting maybe 9 wins for them. Like, I'm predicting 9 wins for them right here. Okay, like straight up 9 wins. But that's, you know, I think all the players managed to stay healthy last season. I think so. The Los Angeles Rams, bro. 12 to 5 wins last season. And it's probably not going to be any much different. The LA Rams are probably going to go 10 to 13 wins. So you got Matthew Stafford, bro. You got Matthew Stafford. You got Puka Nacua, Devontae Adams, Kyron Williams, who's a beast. And their defense is pretty good as well. It's not as good as like the Broncos or like, you know, Texans or whatever. Or oh, wait a minute. No. They have Myles Garrett. Okay. That changes everything. They got Myles Garrett now. I completely forgot about that. So yeah, you know what? I forgot about that. They got Myles Garrett. I might move them up to 14 to 17 wins. Like, they could keep their players healthy. 14 to 17. It might be 14. I'm borderline, like, right in the middle here is what I'm saying. Like, maybe 12 wins. But at the same time, it's like, they're such a good team, though. They managed to be in the NFC Championship with the Seahawks last season. So they can prove that they can go far. You know, I'm probably going to keep them right here just to be safe. I don't want to go too high with them because they did go 12-5 last season. So that's a pretty good record for what they have with the schedule that they have. Let me see their schedule. Niners, Giants, Broncos. Yeah, these are the only one that they're probably going to have a tough time with or an easy time with is the Giants. They could probably beat the Niners. They probably can't beat the Broncos. They probably can't beat the Eagles. Can they beat the Eagles? Did they beat the Eagles? I don't think they beat the Eagles. I don't know. 10 to 13 is a good spot for them. Okay, Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Baker Mayfield. They just lost Mike Evans to the Niners. And we're going to get to the Niners in a little bit. I forgot who else they have. They got Bucky Irving, right? I think they got Bucky Irving. They still got Baker Mayfield. That's not changing. Emeka Egbuka, Bucky Irving, Rachaad White. They went 8-9. Like, okay. One thing I'll say about NFC South is that they're on the losing streak, right? All of their teams had losing seasons. 8-9, 8-9, 8-9, and then the Saints went 6-11. Like, and the Panthers still managed to win the division and go to the playoffs. Tampa Bay, I'm gonna go 6-9 again. Because I think Mike Evans got injured, but now that they lost him, there's really not much I can say about the Bucks because I really wanted them to make the playoffs, but since the Saints just had to lose to the Falcons last season, which is what the predictor was, like if the Saints had beat the Falcons, then the Bucks were going to go to the playoffs. Which this is what happened. The Falcons beat the Saints the very last week, so the Panthers went to the playoffs. And the Panthers were first round exits, so against the Rams. So I don't know what to tell you there. The Detroit Lions. I love this team. I love the Detroit Lions. I love them. I want nothing more than to see that team win. You will never hear me talk any ill will against the Detroit Lions. I love this team. Love him with all of my heart. They might lose to the Packers. They could possibly beat the Vikings. They're going to beat the Dolphins, but they can't beat. Yeah, this is kind of iffy. I have so much faith in this team, so I'm going to go 10 to 13 with them. Like maybe 10-ish, maybe 9 to 10 wins is probably ish, and then they're probably going to make the playoffs again. And then I don't want them to be a first round exit, but I feel like that's just what's going to happen. But I will predict 10 to 13 wins for them. Like, everybody's staying healthy. They got Isaiah Pacheco from the Chiefs. So that definitely, I don't know if they're going to keep him, like, as, the first running back. Because he was from the Chiefs. So he can definitely upgrade an offense, really. Because he was on the Chiefs. Like, you've seen how they've played. I'm predicting 10 to 13 wins for them. The Chicago Bears. I kind of wish it was that other Bears logo and not the C. Even though the C is a very certified classic. The Chicago Bears had a great season last season. I used to hate them. I used to hate the Bears, but they've earned my respect. They've earned my respect with 11-6 wins 11-6 record last season. They earned my respect. Caleb Williams earned my respect. I will never talk bad about Caleb Williams ever again. He's proven me wrong on many occasions. They won a playoff game against the Packers, and I'm sure Bears fans are so happy about that. So they're probably going to go 10-13 wins and make the playoffs. If these two face each other, I'm most likely probably going to predict the Bears would probably beat the Lions just because of how good they've been. And they got a good defense too. So if these two manage to face each other in the wild card round, I'm predicting the Bears would probably beat the Lions early on in the wild card round, and then they'll make the divisional round easy. But that's just me. The San Francisco 49ers. I forgot their record because I know NFC West was definitely a powerhouse division. They got 12-5 wins, just like the Rams did. So I'm also going to predict 10-13 wins for them. You know, they got Brock Purdy. They now have Mike Evans. They got George Kittle, my guy George Kittle. They got Christian McCaffrey as well. And their defense is pretty good too. Also, I'm going 10-13 wins for them. They're probably going to make it to the playoffs too. Playoff teams there. 10-13 wins is probably a good spot for them. They went 12-5. They're a decent team. Not decent. They're pretty good actually. I forgot if they managed to keep their players healthy last season. I want Mike Evans to thrive there, honestly. They could probably make it to another Super Bowl if they really drove hard. But that's just what I predict. You know, that's 10-13 wins is probably a good spot for them. So that's what I predict. The Philadelphia Eagles. One thing I will say about the Philadelphia Eagles is that they could keep their team healthy. I don't remember any point where any of their teammates got injured. Even though Saquon did not have a good season as he did 2024, they had 11-6 wins last 11-6 record last season, but they were a first round exit last season in the playoffs against the Niners, which we just talked about. Which I honestly predicted that. I was like, oh, the Niners are probably going to upset the Eagles. They're probably going to make it to the divisional round, and which actually happened. I predicted that. I knew the Niners were going to beat. I love the Eagles. I love that they won the 2024 season. I don't know if they're on the come up. I'm probably going to also project 10-13 wins for them. But yeah, that's pretty good. That's pretty good for the Eagles. Jalen Hurts is hit or miss sometimes. Saquon Barkley had a rough season. Not as good as 2024. They still managed to do pretty good, but the previous season for them was just on the high because they were Super Bowl champions for 2024. But the Seahawks were last year's champions. So we'll talk about them later. But yeah, I'm predicting 10-13 wins for them. Maybe 10. The Las Vegas Raiders. Now, this is a team that I love, even though that they're really bad right now. They did manage to. They're gonna start Fernando Mendoza, who they have now, and I'm a Nando Mendoza guy. Although this Raiders team, I'm going 2-5 wins with them. They didn't do good last season. They did not do good last season. I'm sorry to say. What was their record? They had 3-14 wins last season. Because they had Geno Smith. They had Geno Smith last season, and now he's going to the Jets. And we'll talk about the Jets later. But right now I'm talking about the Las Vegas Raiders. He might upgrade that team a little bit, but They do have Max Crosby. They do have Brock Bowers. They do have Ashton Genty, who can make some pretty good plays, but they still manage to choke. I don't know. That's my first 2 to 5 win team. I'm sorry. They might, with Nando, they might make 5 wins at most, but this is going from college football to the big leagues, the NFL. He's on the Raiders, so I want Nando to do good. I want Fernando Mendoza to do good. But it's going to be a rude awakening for him because he's going to come across, really tough opponents. And I don't think he's going to come out of this one he's going to come out this one tougher. So it'll take some time for him to develop. So 2 to 5 wins is probably a good spot for the Raiders. Sorry, Raiders fans. I like the Raiders. I love you guys. I love Las Vegas, but it's still not your time. You guys need some time to develop. That's all I'll say. Next up, we got the Green Bay Packers. They got one of the only ties next to the Dallas Cowboys. They have 9-7-1 last season. 9 wins, 7 losses, and 1 tie. They did manage to make the playoffs with the Bears, but losing to their longtime division rival, the Chicago Bears. I'm going 6 to 9 wins for them. I'm unaware if they had any unhealthy and injuries last season. I do like Jordan Love as a quarterback. I think he's good. Not great, but I do think he's pretty good. I'm going 6 to 9 wins for them. They're like the I don't know how they're like the Pittsburgh Steelers of the NFC. They always manage to make the playoffs, but always become first round exits. I just don't know how that managed to happen. Jordan Love, Christian Watkins. They have Micah Parsons is still there. So yeah, I'm predicting 6 to 9 wins for them. I think that's a good spot. Maybe they'll get 9 wins again. But hopefully they don't come out with a tie like they did the Dallas Cowboys. So we'll get to them later. The Washington Commanders. I had to change my battery because I was talking so much. Let me say one thing about the Washington Commanders. They had Jaden Daniels coming out of the 2024 season, almost becoming the first rookie to make it to the Super Bowl. He almost made history. Jaden Daniels is one of my favorite quarterbacks, if not my favorite quarterback in the entire league. I don't know any other quarterback that's able to say that they can do that. I love the Washington Commanders. I love the Washington football team, and I love the Washington Redacted. With all that being said, Jaden Daniels got so unhealthy last season. He got injured, so he was out for pretty much most of it. They got Marcus Mariota, so they got like 6 to 9 wins. They had like a 6 to 11 record, I think. I hope they can manage to keep Jaden Daniels healthy. If Jaden Daniels stays healthy, they're up here. But if Jaden Daniels isn't healthy, they're over here. So, I'm just probably going to go, I want Jaden Daniels to do good. But I think they're going to go 6 to 9 wins again. I want them to make the playoffs only because, I want to see Jaden do good. I want to see a healthy Jaden Daniels. His team is pretty good. They managed to make the NFC Championship with the Eagles during the 2024 season. The only rookie that's able to say that they can do that, going as far as they did, going the distance, I don't know. 6 to 9 wins is probably my guess because I don't know if they could keep Jaden Daniels healthy. I hope Jaden Daniels is resting up. I'm going 6 to 9 wins to be on the safe side. But I would not be surprised if they go 10 to 13 wins if Jaden Daniels stays healthy. The Arizona Cardinals, bro. They lost Kyler Murray. Kyler Murray is on the Vikings now. So if they got J.J. McCarthy and they got Kyler Murray, now the Cardinals have Jacoby Brissett. But they also signed recently Carson Beck, who came from the Miami Hurricanes. Go Canes. if they start Carson Beck, and they've recently said that like Carson Beck was doing pretty good during training, during practice, those practice drills and those training drills in training camp, the Arizona Cardinals, they could start Carson Beck if they wanted to. I don't know if they're going to start Jacoby Brissett, though. That's my thing. If they start Jacoby Brissett, here's my thing. If they start Jacoby Brissett, they might be down here. I'm hearing a lot of good things about Carson Beck. So if they start Carson Beck, they're probably going to be up here. But I am unsure if they're going to be that far. So I'm going to do like 2 to 5 wins for them. For the Arizona Cardinals. I'm sorry. I don't know what's going on with the Cardinals, to be honest with you. They let Kyler Murray go. I mean, they lost him to the Vikings. So Vikings might get 9-8 again. I don't know if they're going to do good with Carson Beck either. I think Carson Beck's probably the best player they got now. But I haven't even seen them play. All I'm going off of is that he's doing really good in practice during those practice drills and training camp. So that's really all that's going on. The Pittsburgh Steelers, bro. I don't know what it is about the Steelers that they just keep making the playoffs and they just keep on being first-round exits. For some reason, they're always up here. I feel like they should be over here, but for some reason, for some ungodly reason, they're always up here. It's so weird how that... I feel like this is going to happen again. Just because with the insane amount of Steelers luck, they don't have Mike Tomlin anymore, their coach. I forgot who they got. Like Mike McCarthy now? I think that's who their coach is? Mike McCarthy? I don't know. Aaron Rodgers is going back again. This is going to be Aaron Rodgers' last season with the Steelers. His last season in general. Somehow they're going to get 10 to 13 wins. I'm going to go 10-7 is their actual record for them. Somehow they still make the playoffs, and somehow they're still first-round exits. I don't know how they keep doing that, but I think even Steelers fans are like confused. Like, we're still getting lucky going to the playoffs, but we're unlucky also enough to be first-round exits. That's one thing I'll say about the Steelers. They're still winning the division, but, you know, going back, just tanking and choking the first round of the wild card, and they're just out. So, I don't know what to tell you. Now we switch from mediocre to good. The Buffalo Bills. I cried last season for the Buffalo Bills, and I'm going to tell you why. I cried with Josh Allen. I did. He was up on that podium, and he was crying on there, like saying he let his team down. I feel like I could have done better. He put blame on himself. And I have never wanted to hug a man more than Josh Allen in that moment, because I feel like he needed it. Want him to do good. I am predicting, let me see the record. Did they have 12 to 5 wins or 13? What was their record last season? They got 12 to 5 wins. Okay. I'm predicting they're good enough to go to... They got a lot of good moving parts. I'm going to go 14 to 17 wins for the Buffalo Bills. I feel like the loss to the Broncos in the divisional round is what is going to wake up Josh Allen and that team. Who do they have? I know they got Dalton Kincaid. I know they have Khalil Shakir, Dalton Kincaid, James Cook. And their defense is also pretty elite. So if they manage to keep that ball rolling, and if Josh Allen wakes up, because he always wakes up during the playoffs, he manages to do good in the regular season, but then he wakes up, he unleashes his full potential when it comes to the postseason, in the playoffs. So 14 to 17 wins will probably be good for the Bills. Maybe 13 wins at the very least, very least. Because I know Josh Allen is going to wake up. He is going to wake up. He is going to just drill and try harder and try to make it to the Super Bowl. And I want nothing more than the Buffalo Bills to be in the Super Bowl. The Super Bowl that I think America deserves, is the Buffalo Bills and the Detroit Lions. two teams that have never won a Super Bowl before making it to that final game, and it all depends on who is going to get their first Super Bowl ring, their first Lombardi trophy. That's what I want. That is the Super Bowl that America needs. That's a Super Bowl that America deserves. Okay? That's the Super Bowl that we all want. So, that's what I think. Josh Allen is going to let that loss from the divisional round be his wake-up call. And I can feel it coming. Josh Allen's time is coming. And this is coming from a Dolphins fan, no less. Division rival. I want Josh Allen to do it. I love the Buffalo Bills. I know I'm saying this as a Dolphins fan. I want the Bills to win. I really, really do. Okay, the Atlanta Falcons. I don't really like this team since I like the Bucs. Never really been a Falcons guy. They went 8-9 just like the rest of their division. They lost Raheem Morris. Michael Penix was out for a little bit. I'm probably going to 6-9 wins for this team. More likely on the 6 side. I'm sorry to the Falcons fans. Like I think Michael Penix is the only guy you got. Like I know you got Bijan Robinson. Michael Penix and Bijan Robinson are the only guys you got. Other than that, Kirk Cousins didn't really do anything for you. I'm sorry. Maybe you guys can get Kevin Stefanski. That's what his name was. You got Kevin Stefanski coming from the Cleveland Browns all the way to the Atlanta Falcons. Okay, he's becoming and one thing that they got Tua now. They got Tua Tagovailoa, my former quarterback who did absolutely abysmal for my team last season. Oh, I hate it. I don't like Tua at all. He frustrated me so much when I watched him. I just hope you guys keep Tua as quarterback 2 or even 3. Like, I think Michael Penix is the only guy you got. The only better quarterback that you got. If you manage to keep him healthy, then you're probably going to stay at 6-9 wins. But if you got Kirk Cousins, if you got Tua Tagovailoa, then you guys might as well be down here with the Raiders and the Cardinals. But if you guys can manage to keep Michael Penix Jr. healthy, you guys got 6-9 wins. So that's really all I'll say about the Falcons. So the Seattle Seahawks, the Super Bowl champions. I'm going 14-17 wins. Now, will they make the Super Bowl again? Probably not. They're probably going to be first round exits like the Eagles were this past season. We're probably going to see new faces in the Super Bowl this coming season. But they have such an elite defense. Sam Darnold, I didn't think Sam Darnold was good when he was on the Vikings, but he certainly did prove me wrong when he went to the Seahawks. So that was pretty much good for him. JSN, bro. Like, they got JSN. They got Cooper Kupp. I think Kenneth Walker went to the Chiefs, and we're going to talk about the Chiefs in a little bit. The Seattle Seahawks are probably going to go 14-17 wins again, but they're probably not going to make it to... they might make it to the NFC Championship again, but not to the Super Bowl again. I'm sorry. Seahawks, you had a great run last season. You won the Super Bowl champions last season, but it's probably not going to happen again this season. My most hated division rivals, the New England Patriots. Now, if there's any team that you could tell me, like, hey, Austin, which team do you hate the most in the NFL? It's the New England Patriots. But unfortunately, as much as it pains me to say, I think the New England Patriots are going to go 14-17 wins again this coming season. Drake May is just a powerhouse. Their defense is also elite. Who else have they got? I forgot who else they got on the New England Patriots besides Drake May, because he was just so good last season. Like, I can't even lie. Drake May was too good last season. I don't think they got Stephon Diggs anymore. They got Hunter Henry, Trevion Henderson, Ramondre Stevenson, all those guys. And their elite defense, like, I couldn't even believe how good they were last season. They're probably going to beat us this season, which is probably going to piss me off the most. But I don't like the Patriots at all. Like, this is only sports hatred. This is not like seething hatred. I want you guys to know that I can get along with Patriots fans very well. I can even be friends with New England's Patriots fans. But just know that this is only sports. This is only sports passion and not like real burning hatred. You know, like this is only sports passion. I don't want to see any teammate injured. I don't want to see any like major injuries with any players. I don't wish that upon any player, even with teams I hate like the Patriots. I don't want to see that happen. But they're just so unbelievably good. It's unbelievable. This is like the second generation. This is like Tom Brady waking up again. This is like a second generation of a New England Patriots dynasty. The second generation dynasty of the New England Patriots is what I'm going to call this. Because I thought I was going to see it again, and I'm probably going to see it again this season. And I don't... That pains me to say as a Dolphins fan. Me being a division rival, it pains me. It pains me to see them do good. But I think that's just what's going to happen. Now, once again, Patriots fans, I respect you. I have no ill will against you. But just know that this is just coming from sports passion and not real, actual hatred. So, yeah. 14-17 wins for the New England Patriots. The Cleveland Browns, the dog pound. They got Shador. They got 7 quarterbacks. I don't know what the Cleveland Browns are doing with 7 quarterbacks, but you don't need that many quarterbacks. Who do they have? Like Shador Sanders, Dylan Gabriel. They traded Joe Flacco to the Bengals. Harold Fannin Jr. is their tight end. Jerry Jeudy is their wide receiver. Quinshawn Judkins is their running back. Dylan Sampson is another running back. Dylan Gabriel is a second quarterback who they probably use. They didn't want to start Shador Sanders for some ungodly reason. I'm sorry, Dog Pound. I'm sorry, Browns fans. I'm very sorry, Browns fans. Like, I'm still kind of butthurt that you guys beat the Dolphins last season. Like, I think this is where this is mostly coming from. How many wins did you have? 5-12. You guys got a 5-12 record last season. One of those wins from the 5 was from us, the Dolphins, and I still hate that. I don't even know how we lost against you guys. Once again, I respect Browns fans. Like, you guys are such a passionate fan base. You love the dog pound. But I think that loss from you guys is still reeling against me. I think. But I don't know what you guys are doing with 7 quarterbacks. You guys have so many quarterbacks, it's crazy. I don't know. It's just crazy that you got so many quarterbacks and not knowing what to do with Shador Sanders for some reason. And he's a Pro Bowler somehow. I mean, I have no ill will against Shador Sanders. I'm sure he's going to do great things if you guys start him. But I don't know about you guys, but Cleveland Browns is probably going to go 5 wins in general. I'm sorry, Browns fans. That's probably just what's going to happen. Browns are going to brown is what I always say. I don't even know who since Kevin Stefanski left, I don't even know who's going to be the Browns coach this season. If I could just look again. Todd Monken. Okay, you got Todd Monken, whoever that is. You guys can probably correct me in the comments. So, the Houston Texans, bro. This was the team that knocked the Pittsburgh Steelers out of the wild card and made them first round exits. Houston Texans win in the playoff game. They make it to divisional. They lose against, I think, the Patriots or the Broncos. I think they lost against the Patriots. Yeah, they lost against the Patriots. Because if it was Bills Broncos, then it had to be Patriots. Texans. 12-5. Yep, I was right. They did not manage to win the division. The Jaguars did. I might go 10-13 win again. Because you guys have probably one of the best defenses in the league. You guys got Azeez Al-Shaair, who is probably one of the scariest human beings I have ever seen. Like, just the way he just rams into players without a second thought is just like absolutely scary to me. If I ever seen Aziz Al-Shaair in like an alleyway, I would run the other way. He is a scary human being. Like probably the scariest human being I've probably ever witnessed. He's just a menace on defense, but their offense is a different story. You guys got a great defense for Texans fans, but I don't know about your offense. Like you got CJ Stroud, who can be hit or miss, Nico Collins, Dalton Schultz as a tight end, Woody Marks, Nick Chubb. All I can say is your defense is pretty great. Like you have one of the best defenses in the league, but coming from your offense is where you have to score. You can stop the other team from scoring, but can you score yourself is the main issue. And I don't see that with this Texans team. They're still going to probably make the playoffs and win a playoff game like they did last season and the season before. But they're not beating anybody like the Broncos or the Patriots when it comes to the playoffs. So that's out of the window. The Kansas City Chiefs. Former champions, but this past season was absolutely rough for them. I should know because I had Patrick Mahomes on fantasy last season. Patrick Mahomes was my quarterback one for fantasy because I was predicting he was going to do good this past season. But lo and behold, we got the Broncos winning the division, and you got Chargers coming in second. 6 wins and 11 losses. I need to stop saying 6 to 11 wins, only because I keep reading this chart, which 10 to 13 wins, 6 to 9 wins, 2 to 5 wins. I need to stop saying that. Their record was 6 to 11, so they had a losing season. This was their first playoff miss. Their first season without making the playoffs in 10 years? Which has never happened up until this point. Because Patrick Mahomes got injured week 15, I think. And that was the same week that they got eliminated from playoff contention. Tearing his ACL, then they start Gardner Minshew, and they lose to the Titans. The Kansas City Chiefs, who have three rings now? Yeah, they got 3 rings now. They lost to the Tennessee Titans last season, which is one of the biggest shockers to me. Because they had started Gardner Minshew, right? Who hadn't played. They mostly started Patrick Mahomes, and then once Patrick Mahomes got in it, they got started Gardner Minshew. And I got nothing against Gardner Minshew. I kind of like Gardner Minshew as a quarterback. But something's off with that team. Something was very, very off with that team last season. Look, it's plain and simple. If Patrick Mahomes becomes unhealthy and he gets injured again, they're over here. Just plain and simple. Because I don't know what happened to Travis Kelce. I don't know what happened to the whole offense. I don't even think their defense is as good as it used to be either. So, if Patrick Mahomes stay healthy, they're probably going to be back up here again, making the playoffs once again. But I think 6 to 9 is going to be another spot for them because I think. Now, I like the Chiefs. I actually do like the Chiefs. I want to say that right off the bat. I like the Chiefs. I like them more than the New England Patriots, that's for sure. I just know that they had a rough season with Patrick Mahomes last time because he got injured week 15. They managed to get that eliminated from playoff contention that same week. They lose to the Titans, I think the next week, which I don't know how you could lose to the Tennessee Titans, to be honest with you. It's abysmal. I don't know how you could lose to the Titans, but I just hope that Patrick Mahomes stays healthy this year. If he does stay healthy this year, I would have put him up here. But if I'm looking at this realistically and looking at how they performed last season, the wheels were just kind of sort of falling off. They're not the same team that they used to be. I hope they come back stronger. I don't know about them. I think Their small little run for the past few years are done, and they're not the same team that they used to be. I'm just going 6-9 for them just to be safe. But I would not be surprised if they've got 10-13 wins for the next season. Next up, we got America's team, the Dallas Cowboys. Besides the Green Bay Packers, these two teams got a tie 1 week. Right. So the Dallas Cowboys got a 7-9-1 record last season. Did not make the playoffs because of their losing record. They got Dak Prescott. They got Javonte Williams. Is that right? Javonte Williams. George Pickens, CeeDee Lamb, yes, Javonte Williams. Malik Davis, I think, is a new guy. You talk about a team I don't know where to put, it's the Dallas Cowboys. They could go 2-5, but then again, they could go 6-9. I'm gonna go 6-9 with the Dallas Cowboys. Because they're certainly better than the Raiders. They're better than the Cardinals. They're better than the Browns. But they're not better than, like, let's say maybe the Texans or the Eagles. They're better than the Giants. I can say that much. And they did slightly better than the Commanders this past season. So that's really much all I can say about the Cowboys, about the boys. Giants, Commanders, Ravens, Texans, Bucks, Packers again. If they come out with another tie this season against the Packers, there's something going on there. Because Micah Parsons, who was on the Dallas Cowboys, is now on the Packers. So now it's just like I don't know where to put them. I don't know where to put them. That's the only team I don't know where to put. That's the Dallas Cowboys. Because there's a lot of moving parts over there, and I feel like they could go 10-13 wins. I just don't know. I just don't know where to put them. I feel like right in the middle would be the safest spot. I don't know. They could fire on all cylinders. Something might happen with the Cowboys, and they could just wake up. They could just wake up and just decide that they're a good team. We'll see. We'll see when this coming season happens. The Los Angeles Chargers. First of all, I want to congratulate Justin Herbert and Madison Beer on their engagement. Wish absolutely nothing but the best for them in their engagement and their new engagement. They're now fiancés together, and I couldn't be any more happy for them. The one problem with the LA Chargers is that they also make the playoffs just like the Steelers, and they always manage to become first-round exits. I don't know how that happens. The only thing I can see them doing is if they make it to the playoffs and they go against the Steelers. 2 first-round exits against each other, so that way at least one of them can make it to the divisional round. I would much rather it be the Chargers because I like all LA teams. I would much rather not have the Pittsburgh Steelers go to the playoffs because I think the Chargers have much more potential than, say, the Steelers. If I check their schedule, yeah, they're gonna have 4 losses in a row. They're gonna go from week 3 to 6, probably gonna go for losses, and then week 7 is their bye week. We lost the Dolphins lost to the Chargers last season. They could possibly go 10-13 again. It's probably going to be 10 wins for them. I forgot their record. I already forgot their record. What was their record? Chargers record. What was their record? 11-6. So they did make the playoffs last season, but they were first-round exits, which was the only problem. They went 11-6, just like the Chicago Bears did. But the only difference between the LA Chargers and the Chicago Bears was that the Chicago Bears actually won a playoff game against their division rival, but they lost against but the Chargers lost against the Patriots. So that was their only problem. I'm predicting another one again. I'm predicting another first-round exit for the Chargers again. But I feel like Justin Herbert needs to wake up just a little bit more. Besides Justin Herbert, who do they have? They got Lad McConkey, they got Keenan Allen, they got Kamani Vidal, Omarion Hampton. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna say 10 to 13 wins is a good spot for them. Maybe they're probably gonna get 10 wins. They're probably gonna get 10 to 7 this season. Still make the playoffs, be a first round exit. I don't know when they're gonna wake up. I'm sorry, Chargers fans. You just can't win. My last division rival, one I'm pretty sure we could possibly beat both times, which we have both times. The uncanny New York Jets. The only reason why I'm putting the New York Jets at 2 to 5 is because they got Geno Smith. And I think Geno Smith is one of the most ridiculous, worst quarterbacks I've ever seen. Like, I've seen a Jets game, and it's abysmal. I'm sorry to all Jets fans who haven't won a Super Bowl since 1969. We make fun of the Dallas Cowboys all this time for not getting a Super Bowl ring since 1996. Look at the New York Jets. They haven't won since 1969. Oh, they had the longest drought. They have the longest drought the longest drought possible with any NFL team of not seeing a Super Bowl. They haven't went back since 1969. And they're not going to make it with Geno Smith, bro. I'm sorry. You guys got Geno Smith, bro. He sucked with the Raiders, and he's going to suck with the Jets. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I feel like everybody agrees. I feel like everybody agrees with me that they have Geno Smith. Justin Fields is with the Chiefs now. But he did just... The only player I think I really like from the New York Jets is Garrett Wilson. Their wide receiver. I think I like Breece Hall too, but that's really about it. That's about it. Mason Taylor, I don't know. I don't know what Mason Taylor's done, to be honest with you. They're tight end. Only two players I like are Breece Hall and Garrett Wilson. That's really it. Those are the only two best players on that team. Other than that, Jets, I'm sorry. I think you guys got the #1 draft pick this next season. Because at least the Raiders got Fernando Mendoza. But you guys got Geno Smith now. The Carolina Panthers, bro. One of the most inconsistent teams I have ever laid eyes upon is the Carolina Panthers. Bryce Young doesn't know whether he wants to be Tom Brady or if he wants to be somebody like Geno Smith. I'm probably going to put them at 6 to 9 again. Only because they're very inconsistent. Like, I just don't know what to do with them. I just don't know where to put them. Like, they could wake up. Bryce Young could wake up and decide, hey, I want to be the next Cam Newton, going as far to the Super Bowl with the Broncos. Or he could just decide to be Geno Smith and just not do anything. And just not even get an interception from the New York Jets. Or just have so many turnovers, it's unbelievable. They did manage to make the playoffs, even though they were all 8 and 9. I don't know how you could make the playoffs with an 8 and 9 record. I just don't know how you could do that. I just don't know how I could. I mean, obviously with the divisions, like, that's how you make the playoffs. Each winner of the division will obviously make the playoffs. So that's obviously how it works. But the NFC South sucked last season. Like, they just absolutely sucked. They all had losing seasons, albeit 8 to 9, so it's lower than mid. The Tennessee Titans. I thought Cam Ward was going to be a nice prospect, but I guess coaching and teamwork just didn't do it. They did manage to get a win against the Kansas City Chiefs, though. That's one thing I'll say. Former champions? That's one thing I'll say. I don't know how they won against the Chiefs. The Chiefs were just falling off the wheels. Gosh. The Tennessee Titans. I just don't know. I just don't know about the Tennessee Titans. 2 to 5 wins is probably all they're going to get. I thought Cam Ward was going to be a great prospect, but I guess not. He just didn't do anything for the Titans. Like it was a rough season for him. I guess he had his rude awakening, and I hope that same thing doesn't happen for Fernando Mendoza. I thought I was going to expect great things from Cam Ward. I guess I had my expectations a little too high for him because I was super excited for him when he got drafted as the #1 first-round pick. But he's not like Brock Purdy, who was Mr. Irrelevant and making it to the Super Bowl, despite being Mr. Irrelevant. So, you know, the distinction is like really low on there. So, it's very different. So, I want Cam Ward to do good, but with the Titans, I think he should just trade himself to another team. That's all I'm going to say. Also, we should update these logos because this is not the Titans logo anymore, and the Rams are all yellow. So we should just do something about that. But I digress. Next up, division rivals, the Indianapolis Colts for the Tennessee Titans. Danny Dimes was doing good so far for the first half of the season. He was on fire. And then something happened where he just tanked all the way down. What was the record for the Colts? Because they were doing so good. They were doing so good, and then somehow they just tapered down. Oh, they got 8 to 9 wins. So I feel like if Daniel Jones manages to do a lot better, I can see them being 10 to 13 because a lot of people like Daniel Jones, and I got a lot of respect for him for being on the Colts now. Jonathan Taylor. Who else do they have? Who else do they have on the Indianapolis Colts? Peyton Manning's former team. Daniel Jones, Alec Pierce, Tyler Warren, Jonathan Taylor. Yeah. Can't really name anybody other than Daniel Jones. If Daniel Jones wakes up a little bit, he could probably go 10 to 13 wins. He did beat us week 1 the last season, though. He did beat us the first week, and that started off with a generational run almost for the first half of the season, and then the next half, Phillip Rivers tanking down. I thought Phillip Rivers was gonna revive the team, but I guess not. But if Daniel Jones wins and stays on there, I can do 10 to 13 wins for them. The Jacksonville Jaguars, bro, another AFC South division rival. They did great. They won AFC South last season. They got 13 to 4. They did pretty good this past season. I'm not gonna lie. Trevor Lawrence and Travis Hunter, they were all on fire. They were all on fire this past season. So, let's go to Jacksonville. Trevor Lawrence cut his hair too, so he looks different. Parker Washington, they have Brian Thomas Jr., Travis Etienne, Travis Hunter, they have too. I think he got injured, but I don't think that would be much of a factor. I'm going 10 to 13 wins for them again. I can see them winning the division again, but yeah, that's just pretty much what's going to happen. I can see them going to the playoffs again, but they were also a first-round exit against the Bills, I think. But if they manage to go up against, like, let's say the Chargers or somebody like that, they could probably win a playoff game. I can honestly see that happening. Are they going to win against the Broncos or the Patriots or the Bills? No, probably not. But I mean, you never know. They could surprise us with another win. Like I wouldn't be surprised if they made it up here. Honestly, if the Jags made it up here, I would not be surprised because that team was on fire last season. That was one of my unexpected things, like how well they've done. So yeah, I would like to see Trevor Lawrence do good and make it to the Super Bowl with the Jaguars. So yeah, I guess we're gonna see how that all pales out with Jacksonville. So I can see them going 10 or 13 wins, and I wouldn't even be surprised if they made it up here as well. Last but certainly not the least, we have my team, my main team, the Miami Dolphins. You guys all know. You guys all know my thoughts on everything that's happened within the past, this past season. The last season with the Dolphins was just atrocious. 7-10 record. Teams that we should have won against, we lost, like the Cleveland Browns, for instance, and the Carolina Panthers. I predicted a 5-12 record for them, and realistically, that's where I'm going to put them. As much as that pains me to say, I'm gonna keep it at that. I'm gonna keep the Dolphins where they're at, 2 to 5 wins, with 5 probably being there, because we got a tough schedule, like a really tough schedule. Like, we got to face the Bears. We got to face the Broncos. We got to face the Patriots twice. We got to face the Bills twice. We got to face the Chiefs, too. And Patrick Mahomes is going to be back. We got to face Kyler Murray and the Vikings, most likely. We got to also face the Niners. And we got to face the Colts and the Chargers, too. And they both beat us last season. I don't know if it's going to be the same thing. It's most likely going to be the same thing. I'm predicting a 5-12 record for them. I got no high hopes for the Dolphins, honestly. And I'm trying to be as faithful as can be. Like, look at me. This is what I wear. This is my team. This is who I root for. But I'm a realistic fan. That's all I am at the end of the day. So I'm going 12-5 wins with the Dolphins, honestly. You guys are probably going to be like, yep, that's probably the most realistic thing you said all day. But I can see this being the quintessential... I could probably shift some things around. Like, I could probably see, like, maybe the Rams go higher, maybe the Bengals go lower. Maybe the Niners will stay where they're at, or the Eagles go higher, or the Steelers go lower, and the Texans go higher. Yeah. This is my spot. This is who I think. This is my list. I think this is a good enough list. Yeah. I put all of AFC South on 6-9 because that division sucked last season. All losing season. That's crazy. That's crazy to me. Thank you all for watching. Just give me a second. Just give me a second on all this. Okay, so I stopped all of that, so you guys will all know what I think about this tier list. Just thank you all for watching all this. This is probably gonna be bad, but I'm gonna come back to this next season and see, because a lot of things are probably gonna change. Like, some teams are gonna do worse than others, some teams are gonna do better than others, obviously. But that's what I think. So thank you all for listening. Thank you all for watching. Tune in to this next coming NFL season where I do the same thing, doing NFL in review, for where I review each game and talk about how each team is doing for the 2026 season. So I'm really excited for that. Really excited for football to be back. Let's go. Let's go NFL season. And this is Easy Austin signing off.